This is a great way to kind of look at, here's the leafy batik again with the grown-up bark and with the juvenile bark when it's young. See, kind of just like us, eh? It's real forgiving, because if you gather it, everything that I gather, I always go and check to see how it did after I gathered, because it's just like if someone was to offer their skin, you know, because now it's going to be offering it, you know, if you take skin, now it might be more likely to get infections or get sick. So what's the first thing you always do? Offer tobacco.
Another thing to mention about this is that basswood has flowers, you know, like a lot of the trees do, and you can use the flowers for tea. Many things can be used for tea, but that's one kind of a tea.
What kind of flowers look like?
They look like a little cluster at the end of there's a little flyer, and then they come with a little stick that goes swoosh, 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 like that, and it clusters up little white, pinkish white flowers. Here's little forget-me-not. Someone's already peeled the bark.
You guys see that? That's called forget-me-nots. These flowers right here. These little flowers are called forget-me-nots.
No, this is just a juvenile.
This is a big wigwassatic. Say wigwassatic. When you hear that pig, you know, like the pig, you hear the pig, that means tree. Wigwassatic. You can see somebody took some bark from here. They peeled some bark. So you didn't kill the tree, but you can see how it gets dark here. This is where birch bark was taken. Here too.
And then the way it'll work is that this is like the scab, and that'll fall off and it'll get a scar. Now there were some women up at Mille Lacs used to make beautiful scar bark baskets. So even after the scab fell off and there'd be a scar, we'll see that huge one up there. They would again go and take it, and as long as you're taking it at the right time of year, like right now, and the tree will let you know. You know, the bark will pop, it'll come off real easy. But right nowadays, there's a lot of problems with birch borers. You can see right here, here's birch borers. There's funguses that are attacking the birch. Here's where the borers burrow into the tree. So the trees are having a hard time. So like I've got bark in my car right now, and you can see where the birch borers and the birch fungus is attacking the trees. So you want to make sure you're careful with the trees. And they won't give up their bark. Don't force them to give up their bark. You know, if you cut it and it doesn't pop, it's probably going through hardship and it doesn't want to give up its bark.
You can tell, you know, like the sap, you know, is when it's running, sort of, that's the time that can be peeled without harming or forcing.
You know, you hear about the green ash borers and stuff like that on the ash trees and stuff. No, this borers are just
it's a different kind of bug. That's a good question. I don't know.
Good question.
It's indigenous, but I've noticed that it's just been in the last
next summer
15 years that it's been like this. Because, you know, last year I saw some bark and I asked, where is this bark from? It doesn't have any injury to it, and it was from Nova Scotia. So most of the bark we're seeing nowadays from the birch trees, they'll have birch borer, birch fungus, you know, that it's kind of struggling. This year I was kind of lucky. I found some pretty healthy trees, and you know, I don't want to take anything from not healthy trees.
Sometimes that particular birch is called a paper birch, you know, just because it's like paper. So
Wigawasimatig. Then you figure there's 14 layers of bark. If you peel it down to one layer, this is fun to do that. That's when you do the birch bark bitings.
That's what we're going to have tomorrow.
Oh, I've got some in my car.
You got some biting too? That you've been doing?
Isn't that nice? This is the scarring from one time somebody a long time ago must have gathered bark from this tree, and now it's got this thick scar, but it's still growing. That's not growing. But now this is the size of a tree you'd want if you were going to make a nice thick canoe or something like that. You'd want thicker bark. Nowadays it's harder to find larger trees, large enough trees to make canoes. You really have to stop around and have a good picking place. So this is how they set it up. They here, Wigawasamatig. Wigawasamatig. Right. You might be wondering, what are these little yellow flowers? Yeah, these are buttercups, and they are toxic. They affect your kidneys, so you don't want to mess around with those. But you'll recognize here's milkweed.
This is milkweed.
The buds, the flowers, the little pods, they're all edible. And the whole chunks make a soup out of those. The little buds, the little flower buds, the little pods. Yep, that's this right here, milkweed. Oh my God.
The milk tastes good.
You know what jabuzigan means? So jabuzigan means that you can use this to clean out your system. Jabuzigan means it flows through you. Jabuzigan, like, you know, jabukauzi is diarrhea. So jabuzigan, it flows through you like that. Jabuzigan. So that's the literal meaning.
What's this?
Jabuzigan.
Sabakashi.
A sabakashi.
Better than giant spider.
Okay.
Yes, what kind of spider is it?
Big one.
Oh, look, some spittle.
Jabuzigan.
What kind of spider
Okay,
is
milkweed, and this is used. One of the uses, you know, from just like you can tell by the meaning, that it flows through you. So it's probably used to help a person clean out their system.
We don't want to bother kids because he's probably.
It looks poisonous.
This spider? No, I don't.
Hey, I gotta see that.
I won't worry about that.
Another armworm, though.
Well, see these little clusters right here are the flower heads that are edible. Now, like you just heard that if you eat a lot of it, it's gonna clean out your system. But does anyone want to try it?
What is it? I'll try it.
Milkweed. Milkweed.
Actually, if it's milkweed, no. Let's go. The
little
milk.
buds, the little pods are edible.
The milk
Like I said,
tastes
there's
kind of good.
There's a
The
whole
milk tastes good.
Well, you want to be careful with that. Like Rick said, if you do a lot of that, it's gonna
It's nice.
it's tasty, isn't it?
So now I gotta go to the bathroom.
Now I'm happy to see this one. This one right here is the balsam poplar. And the medicine that you get from this is the buds. Now this time of year you start to see the brown stain on the back of the leaves, like that. Now I've seen people gather these. You want to gather this in the fall or the spring. You can gather it in the winter, but you'll see it, these little buds right here will glisten with sap. And you break those buds off, and be sure you offer tobacco first. See, during the summer, it's not a time to collect this plant, but it's for skin disorders. So you'll see that there'll be a drop of golden looking sap, and when you crush it and smell it, you can tell it's medicinal. It almost smells like camphor-phenique. So sometimes the way I've seen it used is people will mash it and put it in bear grease for skin disorders, or else I've also seen it where people will mash it and put it on hot rocks and then inhale the fumes of it. So some people call it balm of Gilead, balsam poplar, and the Ojibwe word.
Yeah. The Ojibwe word is manazadi. Azadi is the popple. Any kind of popple is azadi. Manazadi means kind of like the bad popple. That's what that means, like the bad poplar. So
it might be because it's real sappy, and so
it grows fast too and doesn't last too long.
The popple wood, most people, it's a real soft wood, so it doesn't burn hot, and people don't make a lot of things out of popple wood because it's so soft.
Yeah. Yep.
So here's the next one.
Try not to step on the baby maples. There's all kinds of little maples here.
Yeah,
you see all these little maples? So try not to step on them if we can help ourselves.
Here's a little baby willow, but here's the baby birch. Baby birch tree. Now look at, you can't even tell it's a paper birch, eh? It's got its baby skin. We're looking at the juvenile skin. Now here's the baby skin.
So its name is even before the papers there, right?
Yeah.
Wigawasatiguns. Wigawasatiguns means a little birch tree. when you have uns at the end or something, it makes it little. So wigwasatig, wigwasatiguns. You guys say it. Wigwasatiguns. You see, it sounds so good. Give me no tagos in Ojibwe mo. You sound good when you're talking Ojibwe.
And then here's a little willow. Someone was asking earlier about willows, like diamond willows. This is from that variety, diamond willows. Here's another one. Little baby diamond willows. Now the babies will look a little different from the adults, like us. Babies will look a little different from adults.
Okay. All right.
If there's something you see, here's a
meticulous, but we'll have more of those probably marked out.
Oh, here's one I like. This is the one they call burdock.
Yep.
If you ever go to the Wild Edible Food Summit up at White Earth, they cook ducks with this. They wrap the ducks in there and then they bury them in the ground, make an oven in the ground, like they make a fire in the ground, wrap the ducks in there, put them on the willow, and then they'll get the flavoring of the burdock leaves. And then the roots are like a carrot. If you go to the store, you'll see wild burdock, and it's $6 a pound for those roots. Some people say it's kind of an aphrodisiac. I think it tastes good.
All right.
Anybody need some Viagra? Natural Viagra. Money do bima kut is Virginia creeper.
That's this one right here.
Money do bima kut.
Money do bima.
Whenever you hear money do in the front, it means there's something spiritual, you know, about it, you know?
Right here.
Mysterious and spiritual. Money do bima kut.